if your parents are forcing you, you're not going to get the same results.
100%.
Usually the ones that are really, really smart are the ones that are super over analytical and they can't get anything done. So you got to just go in with just a positive attitude. Like, anything can happen. I'm prepared for anything. Like, you sure this is a sport for him? You sure he's going to be good in this? And I'm like, yes. Like, he's doing stuff that it takes people years to do, and he's doing it in 3 or 4 months. A lot of Mexican parents are very brutal. I fell. They laughed. They're pointing at me sometimes. You can't be half and half out and expect to be the best. But if you're doing it because you want to, and you have other people around you that want to do it, it's good. You're going to be so good. Just because you put the work in doesn't mean you're not going to be nervous. This hard work, this stuff really pays off. And
hard work, easy work.
Hard work, easy work. That's it. It's going to cause that kid to either quit, or it's going to cause them to rise above it and be like, okay, I got to get tougher. It's a huge mental battle. Like, I train MMA fighters, jiu-jitsu fighters, girls, boys, no experience, high experience. I think that's why I really enjoy it too.
We're going to get to know AJ. I met him through my girlfriends in pickleball. He so happened to be there, but you are really hands-on with her daughter. You are her coach, and you're the reason for her success, and she's now #1 in the nation at her age group, right? Sienna is how old?
Sienna's 12 years old.
Okay, and how long have you been with her?
So I've been, first off, thank you for having me on.
Yes.
This is an awesome opportunity. It's cool.
Yes.
But so I started training Sienna when she was, I believe, 6th grade, going to 7th grade year. And her parents were like, hey, she has a background in jiu-jitsu. Would you like to work out with her? And so saw how committed she was. Yeah, private lessons right away. And then I have her hop in with the high school group, and she did a pretty good job with the high school girls. And then it started working off from high school girls to wrestling high school boys. And then she's able to hold her own. And honestly, she just does what I tell her to do. And so that's kind of why she's where she needs to be. She does stuff outside of the room, does stuff at home. She'll send me videos of her. I just did 4 miles on the treadmill, 3 miles on the treadmill, without me having her tell her to do anything. So, I mean, she's the perfect kind of athlete you kind of want as a coach, to where they're coachable, but I don't got to worry if I'm out of town to be like, is Sienna going to be getting the work in, or is she going to be doing something differently? Like, her parents are 100% bought into the process, and she's 100% bought into it, because it's kind of hard as a high school or college, or even just adults that I work with, for them to buy into stuff that you're saying, because there's always that what if, or especially with social media, you swipe, you find another wrestling gym or jiu-jitsu gym, or this wrestling coach has better accolades, or this wrestling coach, and there's always, the grass is greener other places. And with her, she's done everything we've kind of told her to do, and her parents are willing to do whatever I kind of ask them and tell them to do. So this past year, we went to Tulsa Nationals, and she won it the first time. Tulsa kickoff, she took second, ended up battling, lost second or in the semis, and won 2 or 3 matches in a row to take true second. And then a few weeks ago, we went to Reno, and she took true second as well, which with the World of Wrestling points, which is the main age group or main wrestling, I guess, division for like middle school and below, she's #1 in the country. So her parents literally like do everything they can for her. So she did all the work. So that's why she's accomplished.
Wow.
What matters is that she loves it, you know? She doesn't do it because she's being forced to.
Yeah.
So it's awesome she found her sport.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because it's hard to find in the Newport area girls that specifically want to wrestle. And she's a savage, because like I talked to some of the teachers on campus, and they're like, Sienna's the nicest girl ever. She told me to come watch her wrestling matches, but I didn't know she wrestled.
She's a different person.
She's 100% different person. She has good grades.
She's so sweet.
Personality. Yeah, she's a personality. Like yesterday in practice, I had this other kid come in, and he couldn't do a pull-up. She was like, I went to go get water, and I'm looking, come back, and she's helping the kid do pull-ups. And he's like her age, maybe a year older. So it's like, she's a good girl with a good heart. And I think that's why I'm a firm believer in, like, if you're a good person, stuff's going to come right back to you. So I think that's what is really just helping her out, because she just attracts the right things and attracts the right people around her, and it's paying off.
Wow. Okay, so where do you coach?
I coach at Colonel Del Mar High School.
Okay.
So I coach out of that area. I pretty much started coaching there 4 years ago. I recently got the head coaching job yesterday, and so I plan on, thank you, I appreciate it.
Wow.
So I plan on staying there for the next however long. I'm still young, so I kind of want to build a program out of there, but I kind of do a lot of my practices out of Colonel Del Mar High School.
You've been wrestling for a while, right?
Yeah, probably like around 13, 14 years now. So it's been a lot of wear and tear on my body. He understands. I think we talked about it one time with your soccer and all these things. There's injuries, and the older we get, the harder it is to recover. And so, but no, I've been doing that for a while now. And now I'm just enjoying the coaching side of it. I'll roll
awesome.
Occasionally, but
You live through them.
100%. And
I
it's
get
it's that living through them, but I got to accomplish certain things, and there's other things that I didn't get to accomplish. And with them, I guess that's one of the things that I kind of preach to them.
Totally.
Because I used to cut a lot of weight back in high school. Probably wasn't the smartest, but I would go up from 145 to 120 each week.
Oh, wow.
And on Sunday, I'm weighing
For tournaments?
Tough on
for
the
tournaments.
body.
It's tough on the body, 100%, and it's tough on the mind. It's like I went to Servite High School, an all boys Catholic school in Anaheim, and I used to live out in Eastvale, and so it's a far drive. I lived in Santa Ana for a year, lived in Eastvale for about 2 years, lived in Corona for about a year, and so it was a hard drive. But I remember just making the weight each week, and it was just wear and tearing on my body. And I think any martial art, it's probably 95% mental. The other 5% is gonna be physical or technique or endurance.
Wow.
And so you can put the work in, but if you're not here 100%, then all that work can kind of be for nothing. So that's something I preach to the kids a lot. And now I have a lot of kids that go to Art of Jiu-Jitsu, which is like down the street in Costa Mesa. And those kids are like savages to where they're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, world beaters, traveling to Brazil for tournaments,
Wow.
traveling,
That's just
competing at T-Mobile Arena specifically for them to compete, and people are here to watch.
Wow.
And so they understand already at a young age how it's like to compete at a high level. And so for me, I have to kind of just tell them like, hey, you got to go out there and do it because you want to do it, or because you can't do it because, like you said, like if your parents are forcing you, you're not going to get the same results.
100%.
And you see it sometimes in the community that there are parents that live vicariously through. So like, yeah, I do kind of live through the kids, but at the same time too is like, I'm not doing it to the point where our relationship's going to get broken. I have 2 younger brothers. So obviously when I was done, I wanted my middle brother to do better than I did. And sometimes I pushed him a little too hard to where it ruined our relationship in the beginning. And then I have a younger brother who's 17 right now, to where I took a completely different approach, to where I was nicer to him. He was like, hey, we're going to go out there, have fun, score points, just let it fly. Don't worry about what happens, just more so just process over the outcome, and good stuff's going to come. And more having like an approach with like gratitude, being grateful to compete, not more so being scared to do it.
Right.
Or don't be worried about, oh shoot, like this guy's ranked number 1 in the country, this guy's ranked number 1 in the state, like I'm scared to lose. Rather than being excited, be like, hey, I put a lot of work into this sport.
I'm ready.
I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
And if I'm not, then I'm just going to show me. And then, hey, now I got to go back to the drawing board and keep working.
Your
but
confidence.
Confidence, 100%. And I think that's where you build the confidence.
Because
by
you do
having
the
that.
work behind the scenes, and you're like, you come for the day, and then you're like, I'm ready to go.
No,
I don't care what it
exactly.
is.
Yeah.
Because you can't go into anything. And I tell it, because
Not
there's
ready.
a lot of different kids in the sport, to where you get some that are really, really smart, and you get some that maybe aren't too smart. And I tell them all the time, usually the ones that are really, really smart are the ones that are super over analytical. They overthink every little position, every little thing, and they can't get anything done. But the ones that aren't the smartest just end up just doing it because they don't know any better. They just go.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that usually have the better career in the beginning. But once the kids that are smart understand and be like, hey, this isn't a math problem to where 2 + 2 isn't going to equal 4 every time. It's like wrestling. Anything can happen. He can put his hand here, hand there. You can't come in with a mindset that this is how the match is going to go, because once it doesn't go that way, you're going to freak out. So you got to just go in with just a positive attitude. Be like, hey, anything can happen. I'm prepared for anything.
Yeah.
And once those kids usually figure that out, it's game over.
Do you ever get the opposite type of kid where the kid is passionate but the parents aren't?
Yes, and that kind of happens around the area I'm at.
Yeah.
Because you get some kids to where I think me and this guy named Tyler, we coach together, and we'll get some kids that are super bought into it, like right away.
Yeah.
We'll have some fun practices. We're not going to throw them to the fire right away, but some tough practices to where they start to like it. But then the parents will come in and see it, and they're like, oh, my kid got taken down today. Like, you sure this is a sport for him? You sure he's going to be good in this? And I'm like, yes, like he's doing stuff that it takes people years to do, and he's doing it in 3 or 4 months. And they're like, oh, well, he lost in the practice. I'm like, and it's hard to build something when that happens, because sometimes you want parents that are super involved, but sometimes you want them that are not even involved, because I think the less they know, the better.
Yeah.
Because if they come in all the time and they're watching and they're like seeing their son or daughter getting taken down in a practice, I could quickly tell that they've never competed or done anything in their life, because they're thinking losing in the practice room is a direct correlation of how they're going to compete, or how the level of how good they are.
Well, were your parents involved? Or?
So my mom and dad were together and then they kind of like split up when I was younger. But my dad was around like when I was a kid. So whenever I played football and stuff, like he never played football. He played soccer his whole life. And so, soccer. I was good as a little kid. I was solid as a little kid. Like that's all I played because that's what he played.
Yeah.
So my grandpa has a Jersey soccer shop in Placentia and Fullerton.
Nice.
And so remember hanging out there all the time when my dad was working, and I would
What's
just
it
play
called?
soccer.
I think we've been there.
Freak. He
It's not
changed
the
his name.
soccer warehouse, right?
No, it's a small little spot off
That's
Nutwood.
Eli.
Oh,
You're
okay,
talking about
okay.
Elias, yeah.
It's off Nutwood. I'll try to find you guys the address after. But basically, we would play all the time, and I remember I was solid at a young age, just playing the basic IYSO, and then moving up to just different leagues, and I was pretty good. And then I remember I had a game where I was playing. It's funny now because you have NIL deals, but then I had like family members and like my dad's friends be like, "Hey, you should play on this team. Like, we'll pay you." And I remember I was getting like paid as a little kid
That's
to play.
awesome.
But I remember
I wish I did.
right. Like they definitely should have paid you, because I had one game. It was a rainy, muddy game, and I remember trying to kick the ball and I fell straight on my face. And I mean, it was like a lot of the parents that were there on the sidelines were a lot of Mexican parents, and a lot of Mexican parents are very brutal.
They'll
So
judge.
I
They'll
fell,
laugh. They'll
and
like-
they laughed. They were pointing at me. They were like talking, and I was like, "Oh man!" I remember telling my dad, "I don't ever want to play this game again."
Oh,
And I stopped playing
Oh.
soccer. But no matter what sport I decided to do, my dad was supportive at a young age, but was also like super intense sometimes, to where if I didn't do anything that we're supposed to do during the game, I could hear a whistle. I can't whistle, but he had this certain whistle he'll do, and I'll just look.
You knew.
And I'm like, oh shoot, he's mad.
Oh.
And like, it's one of those things, because he put the work in with me too. Like, we'd play football outside, play baseball, played soccer, everything pretty much. And he did everything at the young age for me to like kind of excel and grow. Or my grandpa even freaking playing with me outside after getting off of work at 5, 6 o'clock at night. And so, I mean, I had people that are super supportive, but my dad was really kind of on me. And I think you kind of need that sometimes.
Yeah.
But they definitely allowed me to fail and try stuff, and definitely never having like a quitting mentality, because I played football that was probably my best sport, and ended up going to Servite because of football. And at the time, Servite was ranked, I think, like definitely top 2 in the state and like top 10 in the country, along with Mater Dei. And so I was like, all right, I definitely want to play there. So all boys school, I'll focus. And then I got hurt the August right before freshman year, so like literally a month before freshman year started. And I have a scar here, and pretty much it was a weightlifting accident, and you're laying on the bench like this way, and rather than going on parallel, and you're going down doing ab crunches, and this weight comes down and hits my face, and teeth go through my bottom lip. And I remember the first thing I thought of, like when I got up, it was like, dang, like this is a lot of blood. And I coughed my tooth up, and it was the whole root, and it was huge.
Oh my gosh.
And the first thing came into my head was like, damn, like there goes like my modeling career. Like I'm done. It sucks. And I remember the trainer putting it back in, and basically, like, long story short, I mean, I weighed like 158 at the time, 155. Within 3 months, I weighed like 106 because I couldn't have anything solid. My
eat.
teeth were all loose. I couldn't even drink through a straw.
That's tough.
If I drank through the straw, my teeth would just fall out. So it was a super humbling experience, and it definitely kind of put stuff in perspective, to where it's like, it's not about, because I was a solid football player, so I was cocky. I thought I knew how to do stuff, and it definitely kind of humbled me a lot, and gave me different perspective, and allowed me to just kind of like, I guess, work on myself, as cliche as that sounds, but just realize, hey, football isn't everything, and looks are going to fade, and no matter what happens. So at a young age, and I was like 13, 14 years old at this time, and my mom was like, well, we're not paying this whole tuition for you to not to play any sport. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just wrestle. My uncle did it, and I'll just wrestle. And it was hard.
Really?
Like coming in with like the cocky attitude of football, I'd be like, okay, I could beat people up because I was good at football. I don't know how that correlation came in, but you see a lot of football
Tackling people.
Literally,
like-
yeah. You see a lot of football players though. They have walking with that swagger, and none of them have never been in a fight. It's like, but it's like that's what you kind of get with football, especially playing at a prestigious program like Servite.
There's a lot of fights that happen, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of sports,
Yeah.
it's normal. I've had a guy one time wanted to shoot me. That's how bad it was.
It's crazy. Like people are crazy.
like after the game.
After the game, or just people talking during the game.
Don't ask where I was playing, but
Oh geez. But no, I ended up doing the wrestling stuff, and I sucked. I mean, I hated it. It was hard. It was definitely hard. Like I said, I played all these sports. wrestling is by far the hardest I've ever done, and it's difficult in the body, but it's more so difficult in the mind. I mean, you're going to get out of shape. You could run as much as you want to get in shape. You're still going to gas out in the first 2 minutes if somebody's wrestling with you. You could do anything you want, get as strong as you want. You're still going to fade. And it took a huge hit to the ego because you're going to lose a lot. Nobody starts off a champ. And if you think you're the guy, there's somebody else in there that's going to show you you're not the guy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened.
It's gonna humble you down.
It's humbled so much. And I remember just thinking of every excuse in the book. Oh, mom, practice got canceled. No, Coach Glenn said that there's practice this week. Okay, so I'd go. Oh, mom, I can't. My shoulder hurts. Okay, well, you're going to go to practice. You're going to watch. It's like, ugh. And I remember I told her, I'm going to quit. I'm not doing this. And she's like, no, you're going to finish the season out. And if you want to quit after, then sure, quit after. But you got to find another sport. And it was always, each year, it was like, okay, season didn't go end that bad. Season didn't end that bad. And just, I would stick with it each year. And I remember my sophomore year, I was on varsity. And definitely my record was definitely way more losses than wins. But it taught me a lot to really, okay, like I can do this. I'm there. And I remember thinking I'm really applying myself and putting the work in. But one of my teammates, his name is Liam Cronin. He's still wrestling to this day. He's like number 2 in the country right now at like the senior level division. He's a high level wrestler, but I'll talk about him a little bit. He's like 5'1", 5'2", small dude. Freshman year was 84 pounds, 85 pounds. And you talk to him and he kind of exudes this like confidence. And he would be like, yeah, my goal is to be a state champion. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. He's like, yeah, I've done jiu-jitsu for a while. And okay, cool. And he's like losing to girls. And it's like, and at this time, girls wrestling wasn't even like it wasn't crazy good.
Yeah.
To where if you were losing to girls, it's like, oof.
You're like, oh man, you're
come
dreaming.
on. You're dreaming. Dude, like it's hard because like now if you lose to a girl, it's like, okay, that girl's good.
Yeah.
Like, she knows what she's doing. But back then, like girls wrestling wasn't as advanced as it is now. And it's just
Sienna,
getting better.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. If Sienna was wrestling back then, Sienna would be a 4-time state champ, no problem. With all the girls. Like she's so much better. But each year he would say the same goal and he'd put the work in and stay after and do stuff on his own. And I remember one of the practices, like I said, I lived in Eastvale. He'd be like, hey, we're going to practice in an hour and a half if you want to come. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll be there. I looked at my phone. It was about an hour to get there. All right, let me shower. Let me eat a little bit. I remember looking at my phone after the shower and I'm done eating. And it says it'll take like 50, or I'd be there like 3 minutes after. And so I'm like, okay. I'm like, let me hurry up and do this. Got ready to go in my car. I got to my car and it says I'm about to be like 20 minutes late because there's traffic now.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like, I don't want to drive there for an hour and a half to wrestle for like an hour. So I was like, all right. I texted him, like, hey, I'll see you guys tomorrow at school, whatever. I remember at school, he was like, why don't you come to practice? And keep in mind, it wasn't even like a high school practice. He just invited me to come train. And I was like, oh, the traffic was far or whatever. He never invited me again to a practice. And keep in mind, I'm like a grade above him to where it's like, okay, you're smaller than me. Like I was irritated. I was pissed. I was like, this guy's, why?
Yeah.
And then I remember asking the next week, can I come? The week next, wouldn't respond, wouldn't let me know. And I'd see stuff on Instagram. They had a good practice. Or damn, those 3 guys. Now it's 4 guys in the practice.
Missing out.
I'm missing out. Yeah. And so I'm seeing them like at each tournament now. They're like really like they're doing better
because they were like driven. They were like 100%. And you were like, you know what?
I was half in, half out.
Whatever.
And you can't do that with the rest and anything. But
absolutely.
You can't be half in, half out and expect to be the best. And so I remember I asked him like a few months later, and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna practice at this time, 6:30 in the morning tomorrow. Don't be late." I remember I set my alarm up 4 o'clock in the morning.
You were there before.
I got there 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, I got there 20, 30. Exactly. And so I remember doing that. And then each week now we'd hit each other up. And then when summer would come, we'd hit each other up. Hey, practice 6 a.m. And it would just be us. No coaches, just us. And luckily our coaches were like fortunate enough to like, they lived down the street where they'd give us the keys and open the room and he'd open it. He'd be cleaning around campus or whatever. But we would just organize our own practice. And I think that's where you're really going to get the results because sure, like coaches know more than we do. But like you said earlier, if your parents are forcing you, then you're not going to get where you need to be. But if you're doing it because you want to, and you have other people around you that want to do it, awesome. It's good. You're going to be so good because 1, you're doing it because you want to, but 2, you have friends that are pushing you that don't become friends anymore. They're like brothers. And now it's like you're grinding together. You see the work you guys are putting in. So now after the 2 or 3 hour practice, let's go get a lift in. And all right, after the lift, let's go to the beach. We'll run at L Street and we'll go all the way down and we'll do this. It's like, all right, we'll go from this jetty over here to that jetty. And then after that, we'll chill on the beach and we'll get Laventina's pizza after. And we'll do it all again tomorrow. And it's like, and it was fun. You looked forward to working out. You looked forward to getting better. And then once tournaments came, now it's like, oh shit, I'm ready to go. Like we put all this work in the world to do this. And you have a guy like that has that confidence, you're gonna be the next one to have that confidence. Of course. And now you start seeing it, and he has the win. Now this guy has a win. And then now I'm next, I have a win. And now it's like, you don't want to be the first one to lose. Yeah. And then it starts becoming fun because it's like, oh, you pinned the guy in 20 seconds. Let me try to pin in 18. And then you keep that thing going. Challenging. To where now it's challenging, and you're not trying to just win or lose. You're just trying to have fun and up your partner. And now it's becoming a lot of fun, but definitely like you get the confidence from putting that work in because you want to be there. The doubts are still, and that's something I tell Sienna and the other kids I train, or even the high schoolers or college kids. It's like, the doubts are still going to be there. Just because you put the work in doesn't mean you're not going to be nervous. Nerves are good. If you don't feel nervous, nobody's expecting you to win. You don't expect yourself to win. Like nerves are good. They're expecting you to win. Yeah. It's like they should expect you. Especially all the work you've been putting in, you should be feeling nervous. If you didn't feel that, that means you weren't putting all the work in. Yeah. And so I remember right before the first tournament of the year, when I was really excited to show all the work we've been doing, I remember texting my roommate now, but he's one of my best friends, a picture of this guy. He weighed in on a scale flexing, and it said like 145. And I wrestled at 120s. And I'm like, damn, this guy's huge. Like, if I saw him in my bracket, like, I'm gonna get pinned right away. He's huge. Next thing I know, the first tournament of the year, I have to wrestle him second round. And the year before, I'm the only one on the team that didn't make it to the second day. And our coach was very strict to where tournaments start, you have to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning. You could win 2 matches in a row the first day on Friday. You're done at 12:30 p.m. or 1 p.m. You go home. But our coach was strict to where if I lost, you have to stay and support AJ. You don't just leave on your own. And so I won and I lost and I won and then I won. And then, so I'm wrestling at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Wow. So they all waited. And I remember my shoulder dislocated the match before. And I remember continuing to wrestle, and I lost the next one. And I remember telling my coach, like, my shoulder dislocated. And he's like, did you wrestle? I'm like, yeah. He's like, then stuff I can't say on here. He's like, yeah. I was like, I'm like, all right. And I remember telling my mom about it to hopefully she'd feel sorry for me too. And she was like, well, you wrestled, so don't be making any excuses. And I was like, okay. And so I remember the next year that just played through my head. I'm like, I don't want to be the only one here that doesn't make it. And I was like, it's just crazy how it happened, because this is the guy that I was like scared of, that I'm sending text messages about to my friends saying, I'd pin myself if I saw this. And I remember standing next to him in line, because the way it works in wrestling is you're in the back room and they give you a piece of paper on a clipboard and it says your name and his name. Yeah. And from there, it's kind of just like warfare, I guess. You can be mental warfare or can't be. Some people I know would get the clipboard and get it from the guy and then give it to this person to make sure like they hold it. Or I get it and I'm in front the whole time. Like, people play different things. But I remember getting ready to go to the mat, and I'm just talking to myself, and it gets to a different level to where it's not the confidence that you feel it's gonna be. Like, you start talking to yourself and you start seeing it, you start replaying all the work you've been putting in and start telling yourself, you're the man. Like, this guy didn't put the same work in that I do. Like, this guy doesn't have the same partners that I have. This guy doesn't believe in himself the way I believe. He doesn't wake up earlier than I do. And you start telling yourself these things and you start to believe it. You're like, yeah, I am the man. Like, and so I ended up wrestling that match, and I remember I ended up beating him, and I was like surprised at the end still, because I'm like, oh wow, it actually worked. But that's when you started realizing, okay, like, this hard work, this stuff really pays off. And
hard work, easy work.
Hard work, easy work. That's it.
Wow.
And it's a belief that really gets you there, because the hard work does help, but you can't believe unless you put that work in.
100%. True. It's like you got to connect the body and the 100% and the mind together.
100%. And like, one of the guys that he coaches, but he also fights. He's huge on like that mind, body, and just spiritual, just letting it happen. And you can't just put the work in. You got to believe, and you got to put your toes in the sand, have the sun hit.
You kind of have to manifest it.
Exactly.
Right?
Even sometimes, like, before you go to sleep, well, that's what used to work for me. Before I go to sleep, like, if I have a game go on next day, just prep myself mentally before I go to sleep. The hard work I've done, or what I could do on the field, the amount of running I'll be doing and all that stuff. It all helps. End of the day.
100%.
When you wake up, you're ready to go. But I love how they had the AJ group before Khabib group, You guys all like together and
no, and that's the thing too. Like, they're probably grinding in Dagestan, but I mean, that's the thing we felt. Like, to this day, we call our group the corner.
The corner group.
We call it the corner because when you go into the wrestling room, in the corner of the room, you'd see like blood on the wall. You'd see like part of the mat ripped off. You'd see it was a can I cuss?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shitty ass mat. Like, it was just ripped.
Hey,
And so
it's not PG.
okay,
You can say whatever you want.
Perfect. No, but like it was messed up, Matt. And I remember like OC Register coming in one day to like do like some like just video on our coach and stuff like that. And I remember him pointing to the corner, and like that was our group. And that group from 106 to 138, we were all ranked number 1 in Orange County. We were all ranked around like top 15, top 20 in the state of California, which is really hard to do as a team, to have those guys that train with each other all the time to be that, like be ranked like that. And so we kind of took pride with it, but we also took it as like, this is something we built up to, and we got to make sure we keep it this way. And one of the things that we did, I mean, like I said, I cut a lot of weight. So my roommate now, his name is Matt Rodriguez. He's a lawyer, wrestled at Harvard. He graduated from Stanford Law. Like, he's one of the hardest workers I know. So if he had a bad day at school, he got an A-. He's coming in irritated. So where now he's bringing it on us, or somebody else, or like you have something going on at home, or a bad day in class, or a girl didn't text you, or whatever. Like if you're having a bad day, that group of killers you're in is about to make that shit worse.
Yeah.
And so now when I'm training these kids, like the things we tell them is like, if you're having a bad day, what do you do? And it's funny having these little kids, like 8, 9, 10 years old. Like, if your partner's having a bad day, what do you do? And they're like, make it worse. I'm like, exactly. And it's funny because they're 9 or 10 years old. And look, their voices aren't even mature yet, but they're saying it and they're living it. I see kids all the time when their parents are in the room and they're wrestling hard and they get put against the wall and they're like, stop, like, let's go back. And then you have another kid that's about it, it's continuing it, and they're going. It's going to cause that kid to either quit, or it's going to cause them to rise above it and be like, okay, I got to get tougher. And that's kind of what happens. And when we have that corner in the room, if some other kids would come in to practice, we made sure that when they came into our group, like, they're going to feel it.
Yeah.
They're going to be tired. They're going to be hurting the next day. To where, all right, do you want to come back in tomorrow? Because then we'll see if you're about it or not. If you're not about it, then good. Now you don't have to practice with us again. But I remember our coach, during like playoffs time, it was legal to practice with other teams. During the season, you can't practice with other kids in different teams. But during playoff time, CIF time, you could. So our room was huge enough, and our coach, I was fortunate to have a really good coach to where every coach respects him, and he's like the godfather of California wrestling.
Yeah.
And so we'd have like 30 schools in our room. And I remember our coach telling, because we hated training with other schools because we were number 1 in Orange County. We were the top team. We're like, why are we wasting our time training with them? And he's like, if you guys don't want them to come in, you guys know like what to do. And so we made sure that when they're in our group, like, we're making it their worst day like possible.
So they don't come back.
So they don't come back.
It.
100%. Like, to where if they're against the wall, that's kind of the same thing I'm saying with the kids.
Yeah.
And they're like used to not doing that. They're used to like, hey, like, let's go to the center. No, like, I worked hard for this. Like, I'm not going to just let you say, let's go over there. And so we'd finish, and then now you're down and you're not getting up. And it was kind of that thing to where we kind of built that culture.
I love that.
To where
amazing.
The next groups that came into that school kind of built the same thing. And my brother was fortunate to kind of come in as soon as I graduated, and to where he's still hearing about the corner, and they started their own corner part 2. And it was cool kind of seeing stuff like that.
He's doing it now.
Yeah, he was doing it
now.
when he did it. So it's cool seeing that kind of stuff, and then coaching my brother and so on. But no, it's something cool to where you learn a lot about yourself, to where you get to really pass it down to my brothers and hopefully my kids later on. But the stuff I'm doing right now with the kids I'm training, the high school kids I'm training, because it's a huge mental battle.
So the moms here in Orange County, Newport, Corona, where can they find you?
They can find me
Are
out.
you taking on new kids?
Yeah, I'm taking on new kids, adults. Like, I train MMA fighters, jiu-jitsu fighters, girls, boys, no experience, high experience. Like, that's, I think that's why I really enjoy it too, because I like the classes to where you have an MMA fighter in the mix and he's trying to train for a world title. You have a jiu-jitsu fighter who is already a world champion jiu-jitsu, but they're trying to do it again, or trying to win an ADCC or CGI, all these things. Or a high-level wrestler is trying to be a state champ, and the practices are intense and they're ready to go. And then you get maybe some other kid to where they don't know anything about wrestling. They don't even know what move is it is, or they don't even know like what the world titles are, or state titles are.
Yeah.
So it's really like therapeutic for me almost too, to like coach them, and then also coach like the people that are about it. And it kind of levels me out, because if I'm always intense, then I do get burnt out a little bit, because I'm like, okay, like, this is,
we're human beings.
I feel like fight or fight all the time.
Yeah.
But then when I'm with the other kids that don't really know how to do it, or they're interested in doing it, then I'm like, oh, this is awesome, because get to start over, and it's fun because you get to see them excited for learning how to do a move, excited for doing something great that they've never done, or they've never played a sport and now they're finally knowing what it feels like to be accomplished. Or even just kids that like get bullied, or like they learn how to do it. They're like, oh, I feel good about myself. And
speaking of bully, like, can you do self-defense class?
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So I'm a brown belt in judo. I apply a lot of that with my wrestling. Jiu-jitsu, I do it here on and off the mat kind of. But yeah, we'll definitely do some like self-defense stuff for some parents, for some kids, stuff like that. But no, it's just fun seeing like the overall just growth mentally with the kids, but just the confidence, because you need confidence in this world. You can't just go out, and you can't do anything in this world if you don't have confidence.
Yeah.
Can't start a podcast if you don't have confidence.
Yeah.
Can't play a sport. Can't jump out of a plane without no confidence.
I don't know who does that. I don't know what you're talking
Some
about.
wild man. Like, you need confidence in this world. And so with Sienna especially, it's amazing, because she runs like this, and she's a super shy girl in the beginning and would rarely talk, and shoulders over a little bit with her backpack. And now she's like walking up chest high, and she has that confidence. And it's cool to train the girls like that, because it's far beyond wrestling. For wrestling, okay, let's say she wins an Olympic title. Cool, that's awesome. Okay, after that, she's done. I know she's gonna want to do something else with her life. She decides to run her own business, do whatever it needs to be. She's not gonna have a guy tell her what to do. Yeah. She's gonna run it the way she should run it, and because of the confidence. And that's what it is. And that's what's fun about coaching the girls, and for the boys, having them become a man and realize that what they can do with their hands, but at the same time, that you don't need them all the time. If you have the confidence to de-escalate a situation, you're good. Yeah. And it's just cool seeing that with kids, to high schoolers, to college, to men, to women.
So how can they find you?
They can
What's
find
the best
me
way?
Off Instagram, AJ__Silva, SILVA. I'm coaching at Corona Del Mar High School. But
what does AJ stand for?
It's Adan.
That's a cool name.
Adan.
Adan.
Yeah, so
Adan.
it's spelled ADAN.
Adan.
Yeah, it's my dad's name, and it's pronounced Adan.
Okay.
And then my middle name is John. So it's Mexican and then just like super Americanized. But yeah, I remember growing up in elementary school, nobody knew how to pronounce it. So I'd like, just call me AJ.
Yeah. Well, obviously he's a really good coach, and obviously he's good at what he does. If you ever want to play pickleball with him, he's at Newport Coast. That's how we met. And I think you have to probably master that too, right?
I have to master that for sure, because I hate losing.
He's
He
playing
kicks
with
my butt.
moms, you know? Leon will coach you.
I could coach
The
him.
best.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's skunky mirror. What is it called? You get pickled? I got pickled.
Pickled.
We got pickled.
Or sandbag. That's what it's called.
Sandbagging.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
But good
That's
job.
okay.
Good
You
job,
can
AJ.
wrestle him anytime.
Yeah, I know. I can kick my ass easily. I mean, with that. I tried jiu-jitsu once. Man, it was tough.
It's sore on the body, and it's the older I get. I mean, I'm still young. I'm 27, but the older I get, the more I'm hurt. My hips are hurt. I'm sure I'm going to be stiff coming up from the couch. But no, and that's another thing too. I tell the kids, I'm like, cut weight the right way. If you do it the wrong way, your body's gonna be messed up forever. So
we have some good CBD, right? To give him.
CBD is pretty good. I recommend always stretching for any athletes. I think
Dynamic.
saw your video stretching in the sauna. I need to do that.
Dude, that's the best.
Yeah.
You know, I did karate for 10 years, and
Yeah.
that helped me a lot with avoiding a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
But now I got a growing injury that doesn't go away.
Oh.
It's so tough.
But we are going to take you up on that self-defense. I have a bunch of women that are going to sign up.
Perfect.
So
That'd
ready.
be awesome. I'm excited.
Be ready. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Good job,
Thank you guys
AJ.
for having me.
Proud
It
of
was
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats on time,
Sweet.
bro.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.